Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhaktarindam Jayo Radhe Jayo Krishna Jayo Vrindavan Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan. We're reading from the Jaiva Dharma. We're on chapter 39. The chapter is called Entering the Pastimes. In the previous chapter, we heard about the Lord's pastimes as they were described by Mahadev, Lord Shiva, Gopishwar Mahadev, how the pastimes of the Lord can be divided into 8 divisions of time. And then one could meditate upon those particular pastimes at those particular times. Now, the question is, how can we ourselves enter into those pastimes? It is not that we want to remain separate and we're hearing them and we're kind of observers, but the Raganuga Bhakta wants to actually enter into those pastimes to serve the divine couple. So chapter 39 is called Entering the Pastimes. Vijay Kumar was quite disturbed. He did not like to speak on any other topic now. His mind was completely absorbed in the moods of service to Radha and Krishna. Anything else was a disturbance to his mind. He didn't want to talk about anything else. His heart could not remain steady, even going to see Jagannath in the temple. He had understood about rasa many days previously, and he understood about the Sthayi Bhava and other things, all encapsulated in the Madhurya Ras. And from time to time, a different bhav would rise in his heart, give him bliss for a long time, then suddenly another bhav would come and assault his heart. This continued for some days. He could not control the arousal of bhav, that is, spiritual sentiments, that were arising in his heart, along with its actions and transformation. One day, with tears in his eyes, he fell at the feet of his Guru, Gopal Guru Goswami. So, in one sense, Vijay Kumar has understood all these things, but there's no structure to it yet, how to apply that. So then different emotions are arising in his heart. He sees different things. They stimulate his thought of Radha and Krishna. He goes to the temple, but he sees Jagannath being worshipped in a formal way. Other people around him are talking different subject matters. So it becomes a kind of a disturbance to him. He wants to now just enter deeply into the Leelas of Radha and Krishna. He wants to see himself as a dasi, as a maidservant of Srimati Radharani. But he doesn't know how to do this, and he has no structure yet. So he approaches his Guru and says, "Oh, Prabhu, though by your mercy I've understood everything, I cannot control myself. I cannot become firmly situated in the pastimes of Krishna. Now you have to give me some further instruction. I've understood all you said, but theoretically, and then without structure, this emotion is arising, that emotion is arising. I don't know how to control all of this and we'll say filter it into the heart's cavity or the heart chakra to actually experience the real bhav of love for Krishna, following in the moods of the gopis of Braj." So, seeing this condition, the Goswami was very happy because he could see that something was being stimulated in the heart. He thought, Krishna Prem, it is such a thing that it turns happiness into sorrow and sorrow into happiness. Aloud he said, "Oh, please make use of the method now for entering into the pastimes of Krishna. In other words, I will instruct you, and you should use and apply this method to enter into those pastimes. Now, without structure, You're all over the place. Your mind is here, your mind is there, your heart is here, your heart is there. So Vijay Kumar asks, what is this method for entering into the pastimes? And Goswami says, it was Raghunath Das Goswami, one of the 6 Goswamis of Braj. He resided at Radhakund. He's referred to here as Das Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami. He has given the following instructions about entering into the pastimes. Na dharmam, na dharmam. O mind, do not spend time now considering what is dharma and what is adharma, as mentioned in the Vedas. Just absorb yourself in the service of Radha and Krishna and Braj with devotion. In other words, at this point, you should simply serve Radha and Krishna and Braj without consideration of what should be done, what is dharma, what is adharma, in accordance with the Vedas, the rules, regulations. Now you have to transcend the rules and regulations of the Veda and serve the divine couple by entering deeply into those meditations by which you can enter into that seva. At the same time, you should constantly remember the son of Sachi, that is, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for he is the best guru of Braj Ras, as the son of Nanda, as the dearest of Krishna, Radha. Goswami goes on to say, O mind, he is explaining, do not spend time considering what is dharma, what is adharma, as mentioned in the Vedas, all this idea and division and varnashram and this and that. We have to go beyond that. Give up logic. Give up the logic of the scriptures and follow sadhana, the sadhana of Raganuga. And do this with greed, with intense desire. Serve Radha and Krishna in Braj with devotion. Worship the rasa of Braj. Who will give directions on the worship of Ras, of Braj? You should know that this Shri Chaitanya, who has appeared in Navadvip, is another form of Vrindavan and is the same as Krishna. That is, Navadvip is non-different than Vrindavan. And Krishna appeared within that holy dham to teach the ways of devotion to Krishna. Since he has appeared in Navadvip and shows a separate pastime of worship, do not give up the worship of Braj, thinking of him as the lover of Navadvip. Don't try to separate them. They're non-different. Mahaprabhu is non-different than Krishna, and Mayapur Dham is non-different than Vrindavan. Shri Chaitanya, he is directly Krishna. Do not discourage those who take shelter of separate worship and mantras. Consider Chaitanya on the path of Archana. There may be others who think of Shri Chaitanya in different ways. But I'm telling you now to follow this path by which you understand that Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself and has come to deliver the method of seva to the divine couple Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. And therefore you should see that Navadvip is also non-different. All the pastimes of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shows us the ways of devotion to Radha and Krishna. On the path of Ras, he is worshipped as the lover of Radha. In the proper method, we should know Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. And being Krishna, he is the lover of Radha. That is how you should see him on this path of Bhakti Ras. He is worshipped as the lover of Krishna, as the lover of Radha. And he has appeared as the son of Sachi. He is the only guru of this Braj Ras. You should worship him in this way. It was he himself who revealed this method. Before it wasn't available. There was formal worship of Krishna, but worshiping Krishna in the mood of Braj and following in the footsteps of the gopis of Braj, that is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's gift. That is the wonderful gift that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us. And he has come, as is stated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, to experience the love of Radha towards Krishna also, because he, there in the eternal Vrindavan, was so overwhelmed by this love. He wants to feel that love. He wants to feel that same love. So worship him in this way, and know him to be the Guru of Braj Ras. First, remember the pastimes of Gauranga, who is the very form of Bhav. Many of the Goswamis have given us the Leelas. Most famous, of course, is the Govinda Lilamrita of Krishnadas Kaviraj. He is a resident of Radhakund, and he wrote the original Chaitanya Charitamrita. And then after writing Chaitanya Charitamrita, he wrote the Govinda Lilamrita, the nectar Leelas, pastimes of Govinda. But so he follows that footstep of dividing time into 8. Radha and Krishna's pastimes are divided into 8. But he also refers to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes in the early morning hours and through the 8 parts of the day. How Mahaprabhu was absorbed in that love for Radha and Krishna. So first remember the pastimes of Gauranga, the very form of Bhav. These pastimes will awaken the pastimes of Krishna in the 8 parts of the day. So the system given to us by the Goswamis is that you remember Lord Chaitanya's pastimes along with those of Radha and Krishna's, and you will see how the pastimes of Gauranga awakens within the heart the pastimes of Krishna, as divided in the 8 parts of the day. Do not think that your bhajan guru is different from Radha or her Sakhis. In other words, one should think of one's guru as a follower of the path of Radha, one of her Sakhis, an intimate maidservant that engages in the service of Radha and Krishna. That is the way you should perceive guru. And if you perform bhajan in this way, you will enter the pastimes of Braj. This is the secret. If you do it in this way, you will enter the pastimes of Braj. So, first of all, it was described that one should have great greed or desire. There's a very nice songbook of BhaktiVinode Thakur, songs of BhaktiVinode Thakur, called the Gita Mala, a string of songs. Mala means like a rosary of songs. And in the first, I'm going to read a few of his songs here, or the translation of his songs. The first is to show the intense desire that he expresses here. When the sweet sounds of their ankle bells and their nectarine voices, which defeats the pleasing sounds of a swan, will enter into my ears. Oh, when will this take place? This will give immense pleasure to my heart and make me intoxicated by allowing me to drink the mellows of devotional service. Oh, when will this maidservant, and here you see he identifies himself as a Radhadasi, as a servant of Radharani and the gopis of Braj. Not directly Radharani, but we're even in the category of servants of the servants, das dasa nudasa, that we're the servants of Srimati Radharani. When will this maidservant secretly attain the mercy of Radha and Krishna and thus float in ecstasy after seeing in that land of Braj, Vrindavan, the imprint of their lotus feet marked with auspicious symbols? The lotus feet of Radha and Krishna are the reservoir of all transcendental beauty. O Radha, O Krishna, son of Nanda, When will you distribute your wonderful ecstatic love to me and appear before my eyes? This is what I'm hankering for. This is called loyam. This is what I want. You have to express that to Krishna. This is what I want. I cannot live without it. The manifestation of your beautiful lotus feet within my heart will be the fulfillment of my long-cherished desire. Will this happen to me in this lifetime? This intense anxiety constantly disturbs my mind. This is what's on my mind. When will I get that mercy whereby you will bless me with your direct darshan, and I can see your pastimes and enter into them? Well, this is the calling out of one's heart's desire, called loyam. When, while seeing the... Hold on 1 second. Oh, here. I wanted to read this portion first. After offering my respectful obeisances at the lotus feet of my spiritual master, the divine couple of Vrindavan, Shri Radha and Krishna, along with the residents of Braj, I, Srila BhaktiVinode Thakura, happily write about the method of worship practiced by those who are followers of Rupa Goswami. So this was the important point, that it is the Goswamis, headed by Rupa Goswami, that have given us this system. So he's here. When will I now write about that method of worship practiced by the followers of Rupa? Due to good fortune accumulated over a span of, who knows, many lifetimes, a living entity develops a desire for cultivating the transcendental mellows of ecstatic love. In other words, it doesn't take, usually, I mean, there can be extreme cases of mercy, but it doesn't take place usually in one lifetime. So he's saying when, due to good fortune, which was accumulated, in other words, that sukriti, accumulated over a span of many births, will there be a desire awakening within the heart for cultivating the transcendental mellows of ecstatic love? When, later on, this desire transforms into intense greed, first there is a desire for cultivating it, then as you do, you practice the process, there'll be a transformation of greed, loyam, intense desire to attain that. When, later on, this desire transforms into intense greed, it attracts the living entity to the abode of Braj, and it intoxicates him by means of worship of Shri Radha and Krishna, as is practiced by the followers of the Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami has taught the essence of all methods of worship. But without knowing this method, I will pass my life uselessly while trying to worship Krishna. In other words, I must know this process that Rupa Goswami has taught. Otherwise, even my worship of Krishna may not result in my entering into Braj. In order to understand that method of worship, this poor soul, BhaktiVinode, has carefully composed these songs. And anyone who is interested in attaining the service of Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan should also joyfully sing and hear these songs. So this is his method of worship as given here within the Gita Mala. When, while seeing the opulence of the Dham, will I forget my gross material body and see with my own eyes the beauty of eternally blissful Vrindavan? We'll read from there more. But first I wanted to mention, BhaktiVinode Thakur He is a unique personality in our line. It is actually through him that we are gaining this wisdom. It is he who practiced it and he who also distributed it. But BhaktiVinode Thakur also was a very pragmatic man. He knew that not everyone would be ready for such internal bhajan. That's not possible. That everyone who came in contact with chanting Hare Krishna would be ready for such intensity of bhajan. He desired that the world knew about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so that they could begin on the path of devotional service through the chanting of the holy name. So he wrote books in English and giving basic instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He sent them out to the West, to McGill University. That was his desire. And then that desire was captured by his son, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, who then inspired Srila Prabhupada to bring this to the West and to open the gates of worship of Radha and Krishna, but in the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but with some formality. BhaktiVinode Thakur called this the Church of the Holy Name. That was his usage. First thing is that people have to understand the Church of the Holy Name. Let them come and worship Krishna in a formal way. We used that same term of the Church of the Holy Name when we started first preaching in the West with the opening of our Kirtan Mandir. I didn't want to use the word church. I thought Mandir is temple, so temple of the holy name, Kirtan Mandir. Then later it became Chaitanya Vaishnava Sangha. But you see my original cards, Kirtan Mandir, you are invited to come and attend the Kirtan at Kirtan Mandir. And the basic formula that Srila Prabhupada gives us is to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Gita. These are all studies that will help one to awaken the nature of love for Krishna. Prabhupada often refers to the 10th canto, in which the pastimes of Krishna are given throughout Vrindavan, and with the Mother Jashoda's love for Krishna, the elderly gopis' love for Krishna, the cowherds' boys' love for Krishna, the gopis' love for Krishna is all described there. Krishna's pastimes within Vrindavan, Krishna's pastimes outside of Vrindavan and Dwarka and like that. It's all given in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And therefore the Srimad Bhagavatam is considered the essence of Vaishnava study. Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Then that we have the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's book, Chaitanya Charitamrita, written by Krishnadas Kaviraj, to understand more about the nature of such love of Krishna in Braj. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings and his own pastimes lead us in that direction. So it is the perfect, you see the Prabhupada was so perfectly aligned with the teachings of BhaktiVinode Thakur's desire for the Church of the Holy Name, that he began the institution called ISKCON, which is basically the desire of BhaktiVinode Thakur, to have the Church of the Holy Name everywhere, every town and village. People can go and they can hear about Krishna, chant Krishna's name, hear the topics about Krishna from the Srimad Bhagavatam and the wisdom of Krishna from Bhagavad Gita, taking the Krishna Prasad, all of these so powerfully, spiritually powerful. So this was BhaktiVinode Thakur's desire. He had another son, Lalit Prasad. Lalit Prasad took to the internal path more. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was called Bimala Prasad. That was his original birth name, Bimala Prasad. And he took up that portion of BhaktiVinode Thakur's teachings to spread it worldwide, starting his mission, the Gaudiya mission, Gaudiya Math, like that, transforming that into ISKCON through Prabhupada and like that, and to spread the glories of Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How often Prabhupada used to say, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. First, to establish that idea that Krishna is God. He is the Supreme Godhead. Then we can come later on down the line and understand something more about Krishna. That's kind of a private thing. We're entering into Krishna's private abode when we enter into Braj. But the first thing, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said. Krishna is the Supreme Personality. There are many forms of the Godhead, but Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that was the mood. So like I'm saying, there's two ideas. The idea of internal bhajan, but that is a very private and exalted stage. Not everyone, as BhaktiVinode Thakura said, when after many, many lifetimes of gaining Sukriti, will that desire awaken within my heart? And when will I long for that lolium? But so to give mankind that opportunity in the Kali Yuga, there is a requirement that there are many temples where the basic program of chanting Krishna's name, hearing the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and then learning something about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why emphasis is being placed on Mayapur like that also, to learn about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Let the world know about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In fact, when Prabhupada opened the Krishna Balaram temple, he put Krishna Balaram in the center, like the primary focus. And why? Prabhupada said, I want to teach the world that this Gaur Nitai are non-different than Krishna Balaram. It is through Gaur Nitai, who are non-different than Krishna Balaram, that we can worship Radha Shyam Sundar. That's how the temple in Vrindavan is set up. It's very strategic. That people come, and many Indians don't know who is Lord Chaitanya. It is the Gaudiya mission to distribute knowledge of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Prabhupada said, we have Krishna Balaram in the center. Then they will say, oh, who is it? Oh, Gaura Nitai. They're not different than Krishna Balaram. And they have come to teach the ways of the worship of Radha Shyam Sundar. And Radha Shyam Sundar's on the end there. It's like that. So, this is the amazing, actually, contribution of Srila Prabhupada, following in the line of BhaktiVinode Thakura's desire to establish the Church of the Holy Name. And then on the other hand, of course, there's that internal bhajan, which BhaktiVinode Thakur relates to in his Jaiva Dharma, as we're reading and like that, which is something for those who have gone through the course many, many times, or through many lifetimes. So we're going to just conclude with these few songs, and then we're going to pick up the chapter next time we read. But I just wanted to mention, actually, Srila Sridhar Swami said that one should be very cautious on approaching Radha and Krishna Seva in this way. It's not taken lightly. Therefore, so many groups have been condemned by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati as cheap imitationists, like that. It can't be done lightly. Imaginary emotions or thoughts or like that. It has to comes natural from the heart. It arises from the heart, awakens within the heart, and arises from the heart, like that. So, Srila Sridhar Swami said that fools rush in where angels fear to tread. He used that. Fools will rush in. Oh, Krishna Braj. But such a person is foolish. You have to have some caution, humility. There's a certain amount of growth, spiritual growth that is required. And so therefore, at this point in reading the book of entering into the pastimes, I'm also giving that type of warning that These things must be taken very seriously. We can't be imitationists. We have to see that it is naturally awakening within our heart by the mercy of Guru and Krishna and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This may take place, but maybe not this lifetime. But we are eternal. Who calculates time in the eternal? We can go on and on chanting Krishna. So many devotees just want to go wherever Prabhupada went and assist him. If he's preaching some other universe, they want to join him there. In any case, whatever our own situation may be, we have to be real about where we are. We have to rid ourselves. There's stages. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives the stages in the Shishastakam about washing off the anarthas, the unwanted desires within the heart, so many different contaminations, so that we can gradually awaken the proper mood. And here we see in that awakening, BhaktiVinode Thakura says, when will I take birth in the kingdom of King Vrishabhanu? When will I get married in Yavat? When will I spontaneously develop the mood of the gopis of Braj, so that I will no longer hanker after material desires? This is BhaktiVinode Thakura's song. He's hankering. So, when will I take birth in the kingdom of Vrishabhanu? Vrishabhanu is Radharani's father. When will I take my birth in the area where Radharani resides? And by arrangements, they will find me some husband being a female, and I will get married and live in Yavat. Why Yavat? Because Yavat is the village where Radharani, as a married woman, lives. And she needs the assistance of her gopi friends to help her to meet cleansing with Krishna. So it's a very, very special place, and all the gopis there try to help to bring Radha to Krishna without drawing attention to Mother Jatila, who is the mother-in-law, and the husband, and so forth. So it's a unique situation. But that is his desire, that I will live in Yavat. I will be a married woman, just like all the others, but my devotion will be to Radharani. And I will develop the mood of the gopis of Braj, no longer hankering after material desires. Oh, when will I attain my own spiritual body, seeing myself no longer in this human form? When will I see myself in my gopi form, with my own spiritual nature, my own spiritual service, my own spiritual dress? Oh, when will I, by the mercy of Radha, attain the wealth of love for Krishna? These are the songs of BhaktiVinode Thakur in the Gita Mala, who shows us the intensity of his own devotion to the worship of Radha and Krishna in Braj. So we'll continue with the chapter 39, which of the Jaiva Dharma, how to enter into the pastimes. I just wanted to set the tone correctly. Jai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol, Shri Radhe Sham.